Today on Try This at Home, let's talk low end. Hello, welcome to Try This at Home, the show for fledgling gearheads and those who actually care about the bass player. Today we're talking bass, the instrument that you never knew you needed in metal until you heard a band without it. Sounds weird, doesn't it? Ah, that's better. Recording bass seems like a no-brainer, but you actually have a few options at your disposal. And weirdly enough, most of them don't involve microphones. The first and simplest option is to simply plug directly into your interface. This works pretty well, but the big downside is the signal can get incredibly hot and difficult to control. The easiest solution for that problem is the next example. Plug your bass into a direct box. Works well and gets the signal level under control. Also, a DI box is handy to have in your studio space. You can use it on a keyboard or an acoustic electric guitar, or an electric guitar if you want to use amp stems. Example 3 is how I normally record bass. I always want a little more color in my bass signal than the first two examples, so I use this, a Sans amp. Still a direct signal. In fact, I can and did use phantom power on this thing, but it sounds more like playing through an amp. Speaking of which, I fully admit my bass rig is ridiculous, but since I have it, let's use it. Time to go overboard! To the basement! For that last take, I recorded 3 signals at once. First, here's the line out from the amplifier itself. Bass amps usually have a line out plug, often like this one, an XLR output. No DI box needed. There, having a look at that. And now you know why it's called an XLR cable. Next, here's a signal from the microphone on the 410 cabinet. Now here's the signal from the microphone on the 115 cabinet. And finally, here's all 3 blended together again. Now, do you need all this? No, I don't really need it either. But, since I have it, why not use it for today's video? Oh, before I forget, the way you play the bass can affect the tone. Let's go back to the Sans amp, but this time I'm going to play with a pick. I actually took up bass before guitar, so I'm fully comfortable playing fingerstyle. But some songs and styles just call for a pick, so always take that into account when you record. One last thing. You'll likely need to use some compression afterwards. The bass tracks you heard today aren't EQ'd, but they are compressed. There are plenty of videos out there that explain compression far better than I ever could. But I'll give you this one piece of advice. Be careful when setting your threshold and your ratios. You risk losing that low-end rumble if you use too much. And that's going to do it for this episode of Try This at Home. If you have any questions or suggestions for future episodes, feel free to leave a comment. If you like what you saw, you know what to do. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.